Good morning, dear students. Okay. Actually, we see about the introduction of system on chip, right? Okay. In that, we discuss about what is a system and what are the hexagonal expertise in the technological area, etc. Right? Okay. Today, we are going to see about the system model and design flow under the topic Introduction to System on Chip Design. Okay. Okay. In this, what is system design? What is system design? Okay, it is a process of implementing the desired application for the end user by integrating a set of physical components, softwares, and functions, right? That is just for the it is the process of implementing the desired application for the end user by integrating a set of physical components, software, and function. Okay, what is end user means, we can say it is a customer. Okay, that is we are buying it, so the end product is buying by us. So we are the end user, we are using it for the last time. Okay, so it is a process of implementing the desired application. So this system design means it is just a set of physical components, software, and a function. For example, okay, can you say an example for the system design? Okay, I will say. Suppose if we consider an what washing machine, what about there will be various physical components, hardware components, physical components, then softwares, and it also have various functions. So it entirely known as a system, right? So it is the process of implementing the desired application for the end user by integrating a set of physical components, softwares, and functions. Okay, this system can be divided into three parts. Okay, that is a collection of simpler subsystem, method for the subsystem to be connected together, and the collective behavioral operation of the entire system. Behavioral operation means the functional operation. Okay, a collection of simpler subsystem. What is a collection of simpler subsystem? We know when we take any component, there will be a lot of components inside that, right? So that is the subsystems. Okay, suppose if we take a car, look, I will send you this picture. Okay, okay, suppose if we take a car, means there will be various components like engine, tires, wheels, etc., right? So these are the various components. Similarly, there will be many other components for making a car. I mean, just for example, we are putting this engine, tire, and wheel. Okay, so this is the first step, that is a collection of simpler subsystem. Okay, next there will be needed a method for the subsystem to be connected together. We need to connect all this part to make a component, right? So we need a method for the subsystem to be connected. Then next one, the collective behavioral operation of the entire subsystem. Then the function of the entire subsystem will provide the hardware architecture. So just a system is nothing but a hardware architecture plus a system behavior. Okay, what is the system behavior after the hardware architecture, or after we make a system? What is the system behavior? What is the purpose of using a car? That is the system behavior. Okay, that is speed driving, touring, baggage transport, that is the transporting facilities or comes under this one. Okay, and next one, so the connection method is the key for making a unique car model with a specific performance. The hardware is the hardware in total should provide the system behavior for end user application. Next we are going to see this. Up to this we see about what is a system. Okay, next we are going to see about what is a model. What is a model? It is a method of selection and connection of the subsystem. What is it? It is the method for the selection and connection of the subsystem to implement the function. Okay, here it is how we select the subsystem and how we connect the subsystem. These are comes under this model. What is a model? It is a method for selection and connection of the subsystem to implement the function, and it is divided into three sub models. Okay, what are the three sub models? That is the system model, functional model, architectural model, etc. These all we'll discuss later. Okay, next we are going to study about the design flow. What is a design flow? Okay, this design flow includes the system model, functional model, architectural model, then communication model, then software implementation, hardware implementation, then system integration. What is integration? Integration means making a full component. Okay, that is the system integration. So in this design flow, we are seeing about this model: system model, functional model, architectural model, and this communication model. Then what are the implementation? Software and hardware implementation. Okay, this software implementation and hardware implementation are taking after this architectural model. Okay, in this system model and the functional model, we are doing all this work, software and hardware work, without separating it. Okay, so this design flow, the system model, functional model, architectural model, communication model, software implementation, hardware implementation, and system integration. Okay, in this also only the system behavior are visible to the end user. Okay, only the system behavior, that is the purpose of the system, is known only to the end user, and its essential characters and architecture are designed based on those behavior. Okay, for the design purpose it uses the language C, C++, and UML. Okay, UML language. Now I think mostly in most of this system on chip design we are using the UML language, that we will study later. Okay, so first we have to analyze the system requirement, that is what are the system on chip, that is what the system of chip want to realize. Okay, first we have to analyze the system requirements. What are the things we need for making a system? Okay, then it is turned into a system specification. Okay, first we have to analyze the system requirements, then we have to turn it into system specification. It will describe the system performance. After that it will describe the system performance. Okay, the design process involves determining which part of the specification will be implemented in hardware and which part in software. Okay, the design process. Okay, the design process. The design process involves determining which part of the specification. In the specification, there will be various parts. Okay, so the various specific. Okay, so in this designing process, which of the specification will we need to implement in hardware and which part in software all will be analyzed in this design process. Okay, once the concept of the target is grasped, the set of functions to realize the system specification should be derived and divided into more affordable unit function. Okay, once we analyze all this specification, we can able to derive and divide it into more affordable units. We can divide it into small parts and we can able to do it clearly. Okay, therefore the functional specification of a system is a set of function which calculate the output from the input. So this functional specification is an essential part in this system design or system model. Okay. Next, we are going to see about the various models. What are the three models we already discussed? System model, functional model, and architectural model. So, we are going to see each model in details. Okay. First one is the system model. Okay. What is the system model? Okay. This system model is developed using the system behavioral specification. Okay. It is developed using the system behavioral specification, or the based on the using the functional specification of a system. We are developing this system model. Okay, that is the behavioral specification means the functional specification. It is executable in high level languages. We all know we can able to use the UML languages. Okay, in the previous models we are using object oriented language, and now we are using the UML language. Okay, in the system model, the system is one entity and its software and hardware parts are not clearly divided. As I already told you, in this system model part, we are not dividing this software and hardware parts. So, in the system model, the system is one entity and its software and hardware parts are not clearly divided. Okay. After the full verification of the system model with the environment model, the model is grouped, divided, modified for its functionality to be realized as specific hardware and software. Okay, after completing this system model, they verify with this model with the environment model. Okay, and if it is okay means they will group this, divide and modify for the modify it for the functionality, good functionality to be realized as specific hardware and software. Okay, next, the functional behavior. What is the functional behavior? Functional or behavioral model. What is the functional or behavioral model? In this, the functional block and the software will be defined. Okay, here we are just defining the functional block and which software we are going to use. That all we will define is in this functional model or behavioral model. It consists of hardware and software system components and some connecting rules. Okay, it consists of various system for the hardware as well as the software. We need various components. So okay, so it consists of hardware and software system components and some connecting rule. Okay, the target functions are microprocessor, DSP, memory component, peripheral and hardware, then accelerator functions. These are the target functions we are mainly concentrating. Okay, the commonly used functional models are finite state machine or control flow graph, then data flow graph, then program state machine. I think you all studied this in CAD for VLSI. This model does not specify how the system is to be manufactured. Okay, this is just showing the functional of functions. Okay, functional model, hardware and software function, which components that we are using for hardware and software. So this does not specify how the system is to be manufactured. Then the last one is architectural model. Okay, this architectural model search for the most appropriate way to specify the number and type of the components as well as the connection between them. Okay, so it just searches for the most appropriate way to specify the number and type of the components as well as the connection. So there will be various components here, right? So this architectural model will specify the number of types and number and types of the components as well, and the connection between each of this. Okay, this figure shows the behavior of set-top box system. This is the set-top box system. Okay, this is the set-top box system is mapped. How this is mapped to a shared bus hardware architecture. This is shown in this one. Okay, this figure shows the behavior of set-top box system. Okay, set-top box behavior and how this set-top box behavior is mapping into the shared bus and memory architecture. So just an example. Okay, that's just have a look on it. No need to mark up this. Okay, this is the set-top box behavioral model and how we are mapping that into this shared bus and memory architecture. Okay. Okay. In the functional specification, there is no separation between hardware and software. As I already told, in the functional level, we are not separating the hardware and software. Okay, in this architectural level only, we are going to divide this hardware part as well as software part. Okay, just mapping or partitioning the functional block of the functional model onto the architectural model by assigning every function to the specific hardware or software resources. Okay, just that is we are just in the functional specification we already decide some behaviors. Okay, behaviors, so we are just mapping or partitioning that functional block onto the architectural model, just mapping from functional to architectural level. Okay, by assigning every function to a specific hardware and software resource. The assigned hardware may be a dedicated hardware block. Okay, this the assigned hardware here we are assigning to hardware as well as software, right? So the assigned hardware may be a dedicated hardware block or one mode of the dedicated hardware. It will be a group of dedicated hardware block or one mode of that hardware. And the assigned software is a task running on a general or specific processor. We all know software means is a program. So this is just a task running on a general or specialized processor. Okay. Based on the performance analysis, it can be decided which part of the target system will be implemented by hardware and which by the software. Okay, so after the performance analysis, so we are after doing this, we are analyzing the performance. Based on the performance analysis, it can be decided which part of the target system. Okay, we know there will be a target. So which part of the target system will be implemented by hardware and which by the software. Okay, so for the software we are using the compiler techniques, you all know, right? Next, the communication network. You all know, when you see that figure, first there is a system model, then there is a functional or behavioral model, then there is an architectural model, then there is a what is that communication model, just providing the communication network. Okay, this communication network itself plays the real integration platform, and once it is specified, the architectural block can be plugged to the network for the system on chip design. After this communication model, we have the software, we are implementing the software and hardware implementing, then we are integrating the system together for the final result. Okay, then under this first topic, that is introduction to SOC, we are first giving an introduction about SOC. Then under that we are studying the system model and design flow, and next one is the system analysis with UML. What is UML? It is a language which is used for the design of system on chip design. Okay, the design of the complicated system requires high level abstraction to reduce its design complexity. So just to reduce the design complexity, we require a high level abstraction. So UML has unified the existing object oriented design methodology and design documentation methods. Okay, uh, okay, so this UML has more advantages than the object oriented design methodology and the design documentation methods and is widely used in the software engineering. Okay, it can be used in the development of SOC in three different ways. We can use this UML in three different ways. Okay, to use UML to get a rough sketch of the system behavior. To use the UML to get a rough sketch of the system behavior. In this, the UML diagram are drawn for a better understanding of the overall system behavior to provide efficient communication in the design team and clear documentation format. Okay, this after we are just making a rough sketch of the system behavior. Through this we have got a clear idea about what we are going to design. So the system analysis using in this system analysis using UML, this is the main steps, that is the rough sketch of the system behavior. Okay, just to get a complete idea about what we are going to do. Next one, UML as a design language and use it actively in dedicated hardware and software design. You all know UML is a design language and use it it is mainly used in the hardware and software design in the system on chip design. Okay, then we are used with the source code in parallel. Okay,